What's good, YouTube? C1 Mac in the building, back with another video, back with another discussion, of course. Yo, ladies that watch this video, take time out to talk. Y'all talk to your girlfriends about so many different things. I want y'all to share this video and, show a different, have a discussion about this. Um, have a discussion with a different interesting group of your friends, right? Because there's no way it would be weird for you to have friends and all your friends just naturally agree with every single thing you say. I'm sure everybody thinks differently, moves differently, and stuff like that. So just make sure, if y'all can, to give it a like, subscribe, all of this stuff. Definitely share this video to sit there and have the topic to discuss on, and I would like to see y'all feedback based on this. All right, without further ado, today's topic is why women think men have no feelings.
Why? 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 Why?
Where does that come from? Where is your logic in that? Right? I mean, because you sit there, where is it coming from? Like, because some women feel like because their dad doesn't show that his emotions and does this and that, that's how a guy's supposed to be. I mean, that's cool for your dad, but you have to understand that not every guy is like that. Because as much as you're around your dad, you definitely go around and see other guys, grocery store, stuff like that, that do things differently. So at some point, unless you just lost in the sauce, you just don't be paying attention to no other people. Not everybody is going to be stoic and this, that, and the other. But, even if to the few women that don't mind if a guy expresses his feelings, you have to understand a few things. One, we were kind of raised in an environment, whether was taught by your parents or your single parent, or whether your single parent was busy and you had to learn stuff from your uncle or your aunt or cousins or whatever, or maybe you had to learn from school and certain environments, right? So today we're gonna watch a video, and it's coming from the channel Digital Romance Inc. So definitely gonna leave a link to these channel. Make sure you give them a like, give them a subscribe, show them some love if you find it interesting. Um, Basically, it's gonna be a video based on how often do women hurt men's feelings, and I'm gonna talk about my topic about why women think that men have no feelings along with it, and it's gonna coexist and coincide, and it's gonna all make sense for y'all. So without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Digital Romance TV, and I'm Heidi from Sex, Lust, and Love. Today we're going to talk about men's feelings getting hurt. A few episodes ago in a video, I talked about one of the nicest things that a woman could do for a man, and in that video I talked about how men are really sensitive and that their feelings get hurt much more often than women and most of society realize. So today we're going to talk about how often their feelings get hurt, how do we know, and how they typically try to convey it to women, and the things that they say when they convey it to women that their feelings are hurt. So, many of you know I've interviewed hundreds of men, and when I asked them this question, how often do women hurt your feelings, not one of the men said never. In fact, so several hundred men, they all said women hurt our feelings all the time, and most of the time women have no idea how much is happening. Now, I don't know about you, but I have
Right.
always thought that men are pretty tough and stoic, and of course they're sensitive. We all know that.
Women feel like, especially the ones that love us and everything, feel that we are tough and stoic. And it shouldn't have nothing to do with not expressing our feelings. Like, we could be able to express our feelings and how we feel about things and still be tough and stoic. You just choose to believe whatever you want to believe for whatever reason. Whoever this shoe fits for. Let's continue.
But I had no idea how sensitive they really were until I, had these hundreds of hours of conversations with them. And in fact, that question about how often do women hurt your feelings actually came from a man that I interviewed. That question wasn't in my original questions for the interviews. So, so what happened is I started asking all the men, several hundred men, this question, and then I asked them, okay, so tell me how often your feelings get hurt. Unanimously,
being sensitive is not a sign of weakness.
Daily, if not several times a day. And then I asked them, well, how do you tell the woman? So first of all, do you even admit that your feelings are hurt, and do you tell her? And B, how do you say it to her? What words specifically do you use to convey that your feelings are hurt? So a lot of the guys told me, in fact, I heard this phrase so much about the playground, how they learn from early on when they're little boys in the playground, they get beat up for, being nice to women, or, if they're nice to a girl, or if they cry on the playground, they get beat up, they get made fun of. And so they learn very early on, society teaches boys to be tough. Don't cry, stand up, get up, you're fine. Don't show your emotions, don't show your feelings.
So with that being said, let's use this example real quick. If you get hurt in the playground, it's one way to sit there and check on them to show that see if they're okay and everything, right? But once that parent has a concerned look on the face, it triggers the child to kind of just start crying and stuff like that, if not the pain itself or, the feeling. Sometimes it's okay to be sensitive, and all the time it's okay to be sensitive and express that it hurts, right? See, I just had to correct myself. It's okay to express that feeling. What it can happen is, just because you go through the pain, just because you go through the hurt, okay, it hurts, you're going through the pain, I'm sorry that this happened, you got to be more careful. Now let's work on that process to help recover so you can feel better. Things like that. If you say it in such a way, or something a little bit to the way that I worded, or even better, should be a better progress for the kids in the playground and stuff like that to move forward to. But then there's other kids and stuff like that probably were taught that they shouldn't sit there and cry, don't ever cry, like you should never cry because of this and that. And now even when they get hurt, even when they have pain and this like that, they don't express it. They're just supposed to sit there and take pain that hurt and just shrug it off and keep going, and just mask their feelings, mask that pain. And you wonder what's wrong with people when they get to the adult version.
So these boys grow up to be men, and now they're in these relationships with women, and they're expected to express their feelings, and they don't know how to do it.
Willing and expecting to express our feelings, and for some reason, at some point in time, we're supposed to just pick up and know how to do that. Where? I mean, literally think about that. Where would I learn that from? Because dad kind of teaches you to be tough, this, that, and the other, but I mean, what would mom say? Mom would probably coddle you, baby you to a certain extent. Is she really actually telling you the whole process from going through pain to recovering, though? How to go through this? Is she telling you how to properly express yourself? Are there the great examples of properly expressing themselves? So what if you have parents that you grew up and you see your parents not knowing how to properly express feelings towards each other? How do you expect yourself to be? There's a chance that you might be better. There's a chance you might do better based on what you see and the decisions you make. But there's a chance at the same time that you just gonna go off of what you grew up around, and that's how you're gonna be. Food for thought. Not everybody's gonna have well balanced, well rounded parents that have a proper showing of how to deal with things. So just take that in consideration that he might not even know how to express his feelings.
And so when their feelings are hurt, which we now know is all the time on a regular basis,
Right.
they don't know how to express it to women. So the terms that they typically use, and this is what I heard over and over again, they will tell a woman, they'll say, I don't like it when you did, such and such. It really bothered me when you did this. It pissed me off when you did this.
Mm-hmm.
It irritated the hell out of me when you did this. And it really made me mad when you did this. So those are the...
So if we don't know how to properly say the right words or the proper etiquette or the proper tactful words to express that you hurt my feelings, because hurt my feelings almost kind of sounds like a sign of weakness, because some people look at it a certain way, then we'll say certain things like that. But when we try to express it in some way, shape, or form, or give you some kind of notification, even though we're not good at it, take it back.
Phrases that they use to try to express that their feelings are hurt. And of all the men that I spoke to, about a third of them said, I do actually share with the woman, that I'm with, that she hurt my feelings. So I asked them, and by the way, two-thirds never say anything. Their feelings get hurt on a regular basis. They never own up to it. They
defeats the
never
purpose.
They never share. So
no point.
The men that do share and use these common phrases, I asked them, well, how is it usually received by the woman? What does she do? And almost all of them said, well, it doesn't go over very well.
Nope.
And they would then start to ask me, well, why do women get so upset when we try to tell them that, our feelings are hurt? And it was so clear to me, and again, this isn't all women, but the majority of women are going to hear those phrases. So instead of hearing that what she did bothered him, she probably is hearing she bothers him, she pisses him off, she irritates the hell out of him. So most women,
not the action,
they'll
hurt.
Personalize that. So now they think it's them, not what they did.
Right.
And so then that causes the woman to get upset and, possibly, who knows what, reaction that will cause in her. Every woman's different. And so now the man's like, I can't win. She might get upset and start yelling at him because she
his
thinks
feelings are hurt,
she bothers
but it
him.
got worse
So
because of his fault.
or everything
right?
about her bothers him. She didn't hear that what she did hurt his feelings. So then the men in turn go, well, forget it. This is useless. I'm not going to tell.
Which is why we don't even bother to say anything
anymore. So they tried it once. That's it. Didn't go well. So they don't do it anymore. There were a few men who said, I used the word specifically, it really hurt my feelings when. And every single one of those men said it was perceived, it went over really well by the woman, and she never did the thing again that hurt his feelings. Because she heard that she hurt his feelings. Now, I would argue any woman on earth, if she hears that she's hurt the man that she loves, she's hurt his feelings, she would be devastated. She would be upset. But if she hears that she bothers you, pisses you off, irritates the hell out of you, she's probably going to get irritated herself. Again, This isn't all women, but the majority of women. This is kind of what happens in this scenario. So
gotta use the right words.
So now we have, of course, men not sharing anymore. That
so pay attention too,
man.
They
just go on about their business, and women are constantly hurting their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't realize it, and that's the thing. That's where it's also men's responsibility to say, they've got to be able to say, it really hurt my feelings, so that the woman is hearing that. Because
so in case you didn't pay attention, fellas, when we don't know how to express ourselves, we have to start with, hey, you really hurt my feelings when this happened, or when this action happened, or because of this, or this event, or this time yesterday, whatever.
Otherwise, again, she's going to hear that she just bothers you, and she probably is going to get upset. So another, I wanted to read to you one quick comment from a younger man. He's 31 years old, from Miami. He owns his own business, and he said that oftentimes one of the worst things you can do that hurts a man is to ridicule him or belittle him in front of his friends or other men and women, and to take another man's side in front of your man. So, from his perspective, he said the man you're with almost always has your best interests at heart, and
True.
the worst thing you can do is to criticize him or to not speak highly about him in front of other people. So, you never want to put the guy down that you're with in front of other people. You never want to take another man's side or somebody else's opinion, because for men it means everything for them to think that the woman they love thinks the world of them. They want her to think that he's her hero more than anything on earth. So when that happens, that's one of the common things that can happen that can hurt.
Now, before you say that men should do the same thing, I just said it. Okay? Men, if you decide that this woman should be your lady, you got to sit there, and there's going to be times where you might not have enough information to be correct. You might be blatantly wrong, man or female, but you got to be able to have that person's back and then kind of talk to each other in a sidebar or private. It could be like, help me out. If I'm missing out some information or something like that, let me know, but don't let me know in such a embarrassing fashion. Don't let me know and it sounds so belittling or so insulting. Or you just I don't know, you gotta find a way to say excuse me, hun, can I talk to you for a sec? This. And bring it to my attention, this, that, and the other. Now, some people just go out the way to just flat out embarrass you, emasculate you, and you just feel so much smaller of yourself, and you're just sitting there well, if I'm supposed to be this guy that's supposed to take care of you, that's supposed to be this strong, protective type of feel that I'm supposed to provide for you and give you, how do I supposed to feel that if your words sound like you don't feel that way about me at all? What is the point of me being here? Why am I even in this relationship? You see how it go on, and you start wondering, what's the point of me being here? Because guys, that's kind of our role. That's kind of how we want to do things to a certain degree. Is kind of what is expected of us, whether you have a little sister, or whatever, a female counterpart, you just naturally grow up being protective of that person. Unless you just happen to have the older sister or whatever. But in a sense, you're still trying to be protective of her just because you're a guy. So once you have a significant other, you're definitely going to want to be protective about the people you care about. It's just naturally in your nature to want to do that. And you want to be represented well. You want to sit there and both of y'all look good together. Both of y'all feel great together. Credit each other. No matter if there's an argument or something that y'all disagree on. You want to sit there, outside of your home, outside of your car, outside the both of y'all, and do what y'all need to not embarrass each other or make each other look bad or feel bad.
A man's feelings, but it could be anything. I heard so many different stories about how women hurt men's feelings, the things that they do. A gentleman in his mid-50s told me his girlfriend was starting a business, and he suggested a couple titles. She couldn't come up with a title, and she laughed them off and said they were ridiculous, and it actually hurt his feelings. And so he then said, well, why don't you go ask your girlfriends instead? And he said it with a little bit of an attitude. Then she gets upset, and now they're in a fight because she says he's not supporting her. So you can see how this happens
So he sat there, she couldn't come up with a title. He's being supporting. He's trying to sit there and put his effort into helping come up with a name because how important it is to her. But he wants to be helpful. He wants to sit there and try to put a little bit of intelligence with a little bit of creativity into it, right? So it's kind of a mental thing. And now you're sitting there laughing it off, not taking it seriously, belittling his intelligence a little bit. stinging, taking shots at your man's IQ. And he's trying to be supportive of the struggle that you're going through with coming up with a name. Think about that. So now he's trying to help. He belittling his help. Now he feels hurt because you hurt him. Whether you knew you did it or not, it's the way that you said it. Now he's trying to sit there and take a little quick shot so you can feel how he feels. Hello, ring. Now you upset. Now you know how he feel. Now you know why he's upset. And now both of y'all upset. Gotta pay attention to things like that, because sometimes that toxicity, that just the way that y'all say things and just not tactful or just don't care or just have to have a little flair, a little bit of attitude with everything you say, is it really 24/7? Does it have to be that way all the time?
Constantly. So bottom line for women, just think about if the man that you're with says, look, this really bothered me or upset me or irritated me when you did this, stop for a minute and think, okay, maybe I hurt his feelings. Think about it from that perspective and listen to what he's saying from the perspective of, it hurt my feelings when you did such and such. And for the men, you've got to be able to say those words. Look, it hurt my feelings when. You've got to have the courage, because it will clear up so much and make things a lot easier for you in the long run. So that's it for today. And for any more tips or information, you can go to my website, Sex, Lust, and Love. And again, this is Heidi.
So with that being said, because I know I'm probably rocking back in this recliner. With that being said, you got to be able to communicate with each other without bashing each other, without taking shots at each other's ego or feelings. You got to have that open level of communication and receiving it well and proper. And, you know, I get that sometimes we think we should show a little tough love, we should bust each other chops and this and that and other. There should be a time for that. There should also be a time that you're gonna build a positive, creative, open form of communication and support towards each other, to be able to talk about things, to be able to support each other about a lot of things, to give credit just because you care about this person, just because you support that person, to show how you really feel towards that person without busting their chops. Whether you are having a good day, whether y'all having a bad day, whether y'all are tussling a little bit and not seeing eye to eye, that's the person you chose to be with. So still support them regardless of how you feeling, and just kind of put that to the side and properly deal with it later. Don't bury it. But yeah, I just think a lot of women will probably sit there and don't understand this from a perspective that there is a good amount of guys that come across enough women where you hear so many times that women literally think guys have no feelings. And it's not that. It's just the fact that even if we have feelings, we will be stripped of so many things about us, strength, the image or feel that or presence that we had will be stripped away just because we express feelings. Now you see me in a weaker light or this, that, and the other. Now, a certain topic might throw you off and this, that, and other, but you got to pull them to the side and talk about it. But, you know, you got to just be able to allow. I don't understand why a guy has no other option. Like, you got to be quiet and stoic and just take pain and just keep moving forward and say nothing. And some women sometimes talk about it like that's the only option a guy should be. And no, because you can still be a strong male, you could be a strong man if you express your feelings properly and still kick butt every single day. I mean, anybody else want to do it? Women go out here and kick butt every day and be able to express their feelings. There's no reason a guy shouldn't be able to have feelings, be sensitive to things, feel hurt by things, and be looked at any weaker or de-emasculated or whatever, whatnot. So if you feel a certain type of way, if you feel different about this, please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Definitely share this with the rest of your girls. Guys, definitely share this with the group. Let me know what y'all think. I mean, everybody has their preference. Everybody has their opinion. But I would like to sit there and read as many different mindsets as much as possible. Please be positive. Use tactful words. Not shaming, not bashing, all that stuff. It's almost like you gotta have a warning sign. It's weird. It's sad. But until next time, YouTube, see you on Matt.